Video-based collaborative tools and technologies are a huge asset to all types of global businesses today. By communicating over video, organizations can realize benefits such as reduced travel costs, increased productivity, and an improved competitive advantage. In addition, organizations also become a bit greener by lowering their carbon footprint, a direct result of reduced business-related travel. In this report, we'll discuss how organizations are using video-based collaborative technologies, we'll demonstrate new video conferencing tools, and offer advice and best practices for selecting and implementing these solutions in the enterprise. The program features expert Leo Galletta, President and CEO of Converged Technology Group. The New York-based company provides network infrastructure, unified communications, virtualized data center, cloud solutions, and managed services to multinational enterprises. There are several teaching points in this program. First, we'll talk about the types of organizations that are embracing video-based collaborative solutions. Next, a discussion about the business drivers behind the increased interest in collaborative technologies. Then, we'll consider the challenges organizations typically experience when implementing collaborative solutions. Then we'll wrap up the program with advice and best practices to help viewers maximize the benefits and minimize the risks with video-based collaboration tools and technologies. Now, let's begin our report. In our first segment, we'll learn about organizations that are embracing video-based collaborative solutions and report on the experience they've had thus far. So, how is global business reacting to video-based collaboration? Well, the short answer is extremely well. In fact, according to a recent survey by Redshift Research titled Global View, Business Video Conferencing Usage and Trends, 1,200 business leaders indicate that video conferencing will be the top-rated business communication tool by 2016. The survey results, reported by TMC Net, look like this. 96% of the 1,200 business decision-makers surveyed indicated that video conferencing is an essential tool that helps improve collaboration and closes physical and cultural gaps between colleagues conducting long-distance business. As of 2014, in comparing various communication tools, the survey respondents ranked video conferencing third, 47%, after email, 89%, and voice conference calls at 64%. Big changes are predicted for the not-too-distant future, however. 52% of the business leaders expect video to be their most preferred collaboration tool in 2016, followed by email at 51% and voice conference calls coming in at 37%. Experts tell us that lower costs and improving technology, at least in part, are fueling the surge in interest and adoption. With that in mind, let's introduce our guest, Leo Galletta, and learn more about this interesting and important topic. Leo, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be here.
Now, Leo, I hear that there's a new type of company emerging, one that uses collaborative Web 2.0 technologies, including video-based collaboration, to the maximum. Just give us a sense of the type of collaborative solutions we're talking about and how they are being utilized.
Okay, so these are our leading-edge organizations who strive to be the best in class in their respective industries. They're looking to increase productivity and drive bottom-line results. A lot of organizations already reap the benefits of IP telephony being voice and primarily voicemail or messaging solutions, but ultimately these emerging organizations are leveraging presence, instant messaging, video telephony, video conferencing, as well as web conferencing technologies to derive the most benefit for their organizations.
And what types of organizations are embracing these solutions?
So we've seen the adoption of collaboration technologies across a number of different verticals. It's not any specific vertical, but ultimately these are organizations that look at IT as a strategic enabler. Okay, so they look at it beyond just a cost center. They look at it as a ways to facilitate increased revenue, increased productivity within an organization. And ultimately they adopt a combination of people, process, and technology to drive the best results.
Now, Leo, I read that the term networked enterprise is associated with these technologies and, of course, the organizations utilizing them. So tell us how you would define a networked enterprise.
Okay, so that's a new class of company that's emerging. It's one that uses collaborative Web 2.0 technologies intensively to connect internal efforts of employees to their customers, suppliers, as well as other partners. And we call this new type of company the networked enterprise.
So video-based collaboration is very much in the spotlight right now. Tell us what's new there.
So simplicity, pervasive video communications from the desktop to the boardroom, as well as mobile devices with a common user interface that drives adoption and streamlines communications. In addition, the next generation of group video endpoints have been developed, which are optimized to help facilitate even more productive meetings with people and content, as well as simpler business-to-business communications between customers, partners, and suppliers.
And Leo, what types of businesses are using these tools?
So in terms of the latest innovations in collaboration technologies, it's primarily being utilized by early adopters and innovators. Ultimately, they're leveraging these technologies to gain a competitive advantage over their competition. Two key innovations in group video endpoints include a technology called SpeakerTrack 60, as well as intelligent proximity for content sharing. When we talk about SpeakerTrack 60, ultimately we're talking about a dual camera system that helps facilitate a more natural interaction between remote participants in a group-based video conferencing system. So picture a scenario where you have two cameras, one that's focused on the active speaker, and then a secondary person, perhaps on the other side of the table or at the far end of a conference room, they start a conversation. Based on voice activity detection, the secondary camera automatically repositions itself, focuses on an individual, and the system automatically context switches over to the new active speaker, thereby improving the experience for the remote participant. The second technology that we see emerging is intelligent proximity for content sharing. So picture a video conferencing system being implemented in a boardroom or a significant room of a particular size. And at the end of the day, folks come in and they're looking at content as well as people. That content at the far end of the room quite often is very difficult to see. So picture coming in, having your mobile device, having it be able to synchronize with the group-based video system, and being able to then control that system, receive streaming content that's being displayed on the actual screen to your mobile device. From there, being able to preview that, take a snapshot of it for you to capture key points, as well as scroll back in the event that the speaker were to move on to the next slide in advance of you being able to assimilate the information from the prior slide. So you have complete control of the rate in which you assimilate content as part of that group video conferencing discussion.
Now, I'm curious to know about the experience early adopters have had. Has there been positive feedback?
That's correct. So there's a number of different studies out there. One of the ones that we refer to quite often is from the Aberdeen group. And ultimately, they evaluated over 380 organizations to gain a better understanding of how companies gain business value from video conferencing. By studying the uses of video collaboration technologies across a subset of the divisions within their organization, including sales, marketing, service, product development, and project management, they've seen significant advantages. Most notably, they saw a 17% decrease in travel over the course of the past year, an 88% adoption rate of video for strategic initiatives within the organization. Over 71% of their employees leverage video either from the desktop to the boardroom, and on average, they were able to determine a very specific 120% quantitative return on investment for the investments that they made in video collaboration solutions.
Next, a discussion about the business drivers behind the rise of collaborative communication technologies. We'll also consider the challenges organizations typically experience when implementing video-based collaborative solutions. One of the recent hotspots in the video conferencing space has been in the area of cloud services. Vendors are now offering more and more cloud-based solutions that focus on video-based collaboration. These tools enable video to be a key communication tool across the enterprise, from the home office down to desktop and even mobile devices. With cloud security issues for the most part in hand, IT leaders are more readily backing IT as a service type solutions. In addition, with video-based collaboration in the cloud, there is no longer an investment needed in on-site server technology. Also, operating these next-generation systems is far less complicated. End users can quickly come up to speed with the system and, as a result, are likely to use it more frequently. Wainhouse Research, an independent market firm that focuses on the unified communications and collaboration market, tells us that 75% of organizations will soon be introducing mobile video conferencing. 61% of that group will integrate video conferencing with a unified communication platform. With numbers like that, video-based collaboration is certainly a rising star in the world of global business communication. Let's return to our expert Leo Galletta and talk more about today's topic. Now, Leo, let's review the business drivers behind the rise of video-based collaborative technologies. There may be some obvious ones, such as reduced travel cost and faster time to market, but perhaps there are others that you could tell us about.
Yeah, so there are a number of scenarios that we most often represent to customers. One is the support for real-time collaboration across geographically dispersed teams. So in many instances, you have folks at your headquarters location, you have folks at your remote office location, you have folks that might work from remote office, home office. A lot of companies have work from home initiatives. In those scenarios, video collaboration is an excellent utilization of technology to be able to facilitate more productive interaction. The other thing is around efficiencies in business process. Ultimately, you have interdependencies between folks within an organization in order to derive a specific result. Video is a way to augment that audio interaction that typically takes place with remote participants, and thereby streamlines communication and speeds decision making. The ability for folks to attend corporate and work-related events. So you might have a sales kickoff meeting, a quarterly business review, you might have a shareholder meeting. There's a number of different applications. We see improvements in learning and development. One of the key things that's most top of mind for a lot of organizations is onboarding new folks, educating them regarding new processes, new products, new services that they're bringing to market. Being able to facilitate that more effectively so that you get better and faster results is a good use case for video. Acceleration on strategic projects, improved customer service, and ultimately reducing costs by being able to leverage remote talent as part of a best-in-class organization to derive the best return to you and to your customers.
So when you look across the board at firms that have embraced leading-edge collaborative technologies, they're not all at the fully network level, correct? Could you categorize these firms in any way?
Yeah, we can. So using some of the concepts within the technology adoption lifecycle, you might see folks that are leveraging technology internally first. And that might be laggards at this date and time. Ultimately, they're leveraging IP telephony for voice and maybe voicemail or integrated or unified messaging capabilities. And that's a very traditional use of voice over IP or IP telephony. A more progressive organization starts to leverage technology externally. And I would put them in the early majority class. At this point, those are organizations that leverage voice, unified messaging, and disparate video technologies in a non-standard way to facilitate internal as well as some B2B interactions. The challenge with that is it becomes very operationally complex, and you have concerns around regulatory compliance and security. For the most progressive organizations, the innovators, they're fully networked. And these are organizations that either today have implemented or in the process of implementing a complete collaboration platform that's pervasive. One that uses presence technologies, one that uses instant messaging, voice, video conferencing, unified messaging, and web conferencing technologies to facilitate simple, consistent internal, external, and supplier interactions.
Now, Leo, you're well aware that there are a variety of video and non-video based collaborative tools and technologies out there. But my question is, how do you go about making a decision about what to implement and when? In other words, how do you ensure a good fit?
Well, the first thing to do is to understand the very specific organizational use cases that will drive specific business outcomes for your organization. And I can't say that I find any two organizations that are exactly the same. And ultimately, we create custom solutions. More often than not, it's a combination of business process change as well as technology adoption, which meet those specific goals. The best way to chart a course for an individual organization is through the creation of a multi-phase technology adoption roadmap. So you start off with where you are today, you create a future state vision, and ultimately you create a path, typically a multi-year path, to be able to get to that end state architecture. Along the way, you want to be able to adopt that technology. You want to map the implementation to very specific use cases. You want to compare the actual return on investment versus the anticipated return on investment. And most importantly, it's important to invest in a platform which can be built upon, that you can execute each phase against, and then ultimately measure the results.
Well, I think we both agree that technology change is never easy. How would you recommend IT and business executives transition their organizations to become fully networked enterprises? Just give us a roadmap from start to finish.
Okay, so when we look at a technology adoption roadmap, we think of it in a multi-year phased approach. In phase one, and the most important thing fundamentally to accomplish, is the building out of a network that's ready for multi-service voice and video applications. At the end of the day, you need to have a LAN and WAN transport that supports end-to-end class and quality of service. Not only to support your dial tone and messaging, but also future collaboration technologies that are really going to unlock the value of productivity for your organization. After you ready the network, most organizations implement the collaboration core. And that's really when you start to effectively converge the voice, video, and data infrastructure onto a common network transport. At that point, you have voice, unified messaging, and some basic video telephony adoption. From there, you go into a phase 3. And that phase 3 is typically the phase 1 adoption of collaboration applications such as integrated presence, instant messaging, and web conferencing. From there, it becomes pervasive. You start to realize the benefits of video and collaboration within your enterprise. You figure out what use cases can benefit even more from those investments. And at the end of the day, you start to roll that out more pervasively across not only your headquarters, but your remote office and your remote office, home office locations. And then finally, you implement a collaboration edge. It's all about that B2B exchange. You're looking to benefit not only from your internal interactions and productivity gains, but also the benefits of interacting with your customers, your suppliers, as well as your partners. One key note to keep in mind is that at each phase of the adoption lifecycle, it's important to evaluate not only private cloud options, but also public cloud as well. And more often than not, it's a hybrid cloud approach to collaboration that makes the most sense for our customers.
And Leo, what are the biggest challenges that organizations typically experience when implementing collaborative technologies?
Adoption and business process change. Collaboration is an end-user technology. Training and utilization tracking are key to ensuring that an organization truly realizes the return on investment.
Can you offer our viewers any advice on the best methods to navigate the challenges?
Ensure that you invest in end-user training, track adoption of the technologies you deploy, and ultimately track the return on investment during each phase of the implementation and how it compares to the anticipated business outcome you're looking to drive in your organization.
Well, it sounds as if it's critical to keep the future in mind as you build out your network and incorporate video and other collaborative tools. Now, you have to design the infrastructure in such a way that it will securely accommodate the addition of new tools and technology down the road.
That's correct. And ultimately, it's the creation of that technology adoption roadmap that identifies your current state architecture, your end state result, and the phases that will enable you to get there. That will help ensure that you make the most prudent and informed technology investments.
A top-of-mind issue for IT and business executives today is the security of systems, data, and devices. Talk about security in an era of rising collaborative technologies and the addition of a host of devices, including employee-owned smartphones and tablets. What are the security challenges here? And how can IT and business leaders maximize the benefits of collaborative solutions and minimize the risk factors? So
security is a major consideration for IT and business executives that we're engaging with today. In most instances, organizations that we engage with are subject to regulatory compliance. A private cloud option, an architecture, is the most common deployment model. This enables our customer to implement the integrated security features that are inherent in an enterprise-class collaboration solution in accordance to their compliance requirements. In addition, when they expand collaboration beyond the corporate walls to mobile devices to support both voice and video, it's key that they preserve data confidentiality. So more often than not, you have to take into consideration not only the privacy of the information within your walls, but outside of your walls as well. And that today, with the current day of a BYOD era, it's important that the conversation expand just beyond collaboration to include technologies around network and mission control. So mobile device management, BYOD, network and mission control, combined with collaboration, ultimately ensure the most secure and reliable voice and video collaboration solution.
Well, another concern with new technology is return on investment. Can you comment on the ROI that networked enterprises have experienced thus far? And also, how are they calculating the ROI exactly?
Okay, so I'm thinking about a couple different scenarios. One is the value of video in sales. And quite often, if you're meeting with the sales leader, you're looking to improve remote sales opportunities because folks are looking to get a better return and reduce their cost of sales. They're looking to manage additional territory without additional headcount. So some of the benefits of leveraging video and collaboration technologies are that you have a lifelike, responsive interaction with your customers, and both the voice and the body language can be shared. Right? So quite often when we're having a human interaction, we're reliant on visual cues to determine how engaged somebody is and be able to give us an informal way of determining what their interest level is in the solution or the product that we're representing. From a sales perspective, the idea is to increase your reach rates so that you're able to make more customer touches in a more productive way. And ultimately, a video-aided B2B sales transaction, on average, improves your sales outcome 20% based on a non-video or video collaboration alternative. So it's about improving remote sales capabilities, extending your reach, getting a better return on customer interaction, and ultimately driving productivity. And that's a use case specific to the value of video in sales. Ultimately, it's about driving increased revenue per head, increasing profitability, and improving your customer interactions.
Now, Leo, if I'm a viewer of today's program and I like what I'm hearing, how do I get started?
Okay, so from a getting started perspective, it's very important that you make a decision around the technology manufacturer that you're looking to align with. It's important that you want to minimize the number of vendors that represent the complete solution portfolio that you're looking for. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you don't have excessive operational complexity. It's important for you to identify a trusted partner that has those demonstrated competencies around networking, collaboration, as well as the private virtualized data center. And at the end of the day, it's important that you have a partnership with an organization that are driving very specific business outcomes for your organization.
We'll now conclude the program with added advice and best practices from our expert on today's topic. In the report, we discuss the various types of organizations that are embracing video-based collaborative solutions today. We also considered the business drivers behind the rise of these next-generation business tools. Then, we identified the challenges organizations experience when implementing these technology solutions. Next, we'll wrap up the program with advice and best practices to help viewers maximize the benefits and minimize the risks with video-based collaboration tools and technologies. Now, Leo, as we conclude, let's recap some of your advice today in the form of some best practices for implementing collaborative technologies.
Sure, Mike. So from a solution perspective, it's important to realize that when you're talking about collaboration, it's voice, it's messaging or unified messaging, it's presence, it's instant messaging technologies, it's video conferencing, it's web conferencing technologies that drive organizational productivity, which drives the bottom line in best-in-class organizations. In many cases, the adoption of collaboration technologies is a multi-year plan. So it starts with network readiness, and ultimately the implementation translates to an end-state architecture. It's important to realize that it starts off as an internal technology and then ultimately transcends the corporate walls to a B2B exchange with your partners, your suppliers, and your customers. It's important for you to choose a technology partner that not only stands collaboration, but the underlying multi-service network infrastructure, as well as the data center technologies, because more often than not, it's implemented as a private cloud or a hybrid cloud solution to give you the best return at the best economics. And then ultimately, it's important to drive adoption. So in order for an organization to truly unlock the value of their investment, it's about end-user adoption to drive productivity.
So, Leo, to close the program, please offer a final thought for our viewers.
Yeah, I would say that today, more so than ever, the innovations that have occurred in collaboration technologies truly provide measurable benefit to organizations, driving increased productivity and ROI. So a lot of the business leaders that I meet with, ultimately they're looking to either increase revenue or productivity, reduce costs, or mitigating risk. And in terms of collaboration, more often than not, we're talking about increasing revenue and driving productivity. If you can show an organization how to drive a 5 to 10% productivity increase, you're translating to very real, measurable results. And that's a testament to the innovation that's occurred in the collaboration space over the last 12 to 24 months.
Leo Galletta, President and CEO of Converged Technology Group, thanks for bringing us up to date on this interesting topic.
Mike, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Well, that completes our report, Video-Based Collaboration, a Powerful Enterprise Tool. I'm Michael Quinlan, and thank you for watching.